The following program is produced by the Tech Talk Radio Network.
Hey, what's up? This is Tom Arnold, and you're listening to Tech Talk Radio. They're really great, and I love them. Hey, how about a copy of Windows? Can I get a laptop?
Welcome to another episode of Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Shawn DeWeerd.
And I'm Justin Lemme.
Well, it's good to see all three of you. Hope you're, that would be all three of us.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait, is it somebody else we're missing here?
We invited Matt. We thought Matt was going to be able to join us again this week, but no, Matt's, he has an electrician at his house. So hopefully he has electricity. That could be the reason why.
I doubt it.
Maybe he doesn't. But we haven't been able to really talk since the big game. Of course, the Super Bowl game took place. Just want to know, what do you guys think?
Not a football fan, so it was on and life went on. There were a couple good ads. There were a couple bad ads, hit or miss every year. I wish we could go back 20 years to when nobody knew what the ads were going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No spoilers, no early releases, no previews, none of that. And you were just shocked at what came out on TV. And those were the days of the good Dorito ads. Snickers had good ads. Now it's just corporate AI slop at this point.
Doritos always had great, and Budweiser, they also had, of course, great ads as well. But yeah, it seemed, and what surprised me this year, and I don't know if you caught them, but the AI ads, which were freaking people out because
there's a lot of them.
These were not ads that utilized AI. Well, they did to a certain extent, but they were ads purporting, okay, we've got this AI model coming out. We've got this AI model coming out. These people are there watching a football game.
There was one exception to that. I did like how Anthropic, which is the maker of Claude, I do like how they poked fun at ChatGPT with the whole, putting ads in AI.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
That was actually a pretty funny one. If you haven't seen that one, just look up Claude Super Bowl ad. Those were actually kind of funny. But no, there were countless ads that I saw that I was like, all right, this is AI.
Yeah,
they're just going cheap. I mean, first off, it's expensive to put a Super Bowl ad. I think what was it this year was $50 million for 30 seconds.
They said it was $10 million, and then of course you've got to pay when you have like the Dunkin' ad. You got to pay all those people, Jason Alexander and all those. You had to pay all of them the money to be in the ad. That's not cheap. You don't get around that, really.
It's probably like a $50 to $100 ad campaign, depending on how much you want to spend on it.
$50 to $100
million?
No, $50 to $100 million.
You didn't say million. You just said 50 to 100. I'm like,
no, 50 to 100.
What year is it? Is this Super Bowl 1?
Yeah, they had TV back then.
Oh man, I gotta tell you, I'm sporting something I found. You guys do this? You start going through like boxes of stuff, and you say, oh, wow, look at that. I found that. In the old days, you used to be able to get like all kinds
back in my day
posters and stuff for like tech companies. I still have Microsoft posters from going back to, Windows 98 and stuff like that. And I found this shirt. I found 4 of them in perfect condition. The old dude, you remember the ad campaign? Dude, you're going to get a Dell.
Dude, you're getting a Dell. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
So I found 4 of these shirts. I mean, they were perfectly in a bag, put away.
I think it's our new uniforms.
You know what? I can certainly, I think, part with the other ones, and we could all wear them at the same time.
I think so. I think we're going to have to do that.
And again, I did look on eBay, and they are going for quite a penny.
Oh, and really?
Only one of them's been worn. And
it was a fairly well-known ad campaign for Dell. I mean, it was every Dell commercial had that. Dude, you're getting a Dell.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that guy? The dude, you're getting a Dell guy.
I don't know. I'll research him in the break and figure it out.
You do the Google foo on that and find out, because that was a great ad campaign. We're talking about ads and that bit.
So you're talking about good ad campaigns, right? So there were some bad ad campaigns this year.
Yeah, it definitely.
So the one that stuck out the most was the Ring camera ad.
That
surprised everybody.
That fell on everybody.
Hey, your dog is missing. Uh-oh. Go to the Ring app, type in your dog's name, maybe put a picture in there, and then hit send. And now it's using AI, and it's searching every camera in your neighborhood for looking for your dog.
Wow.
That's a little creepy.
Anybody that has it enabled, which if you read about it, it's enabled by default. searching for your dog, and it'll alert you, your dog has been found at so-and-so's address. Boop, it's been spotted, and you can go track it down.
They were showing that to tug on the heartstrings, not realizing people are going. I think a lot of us are saying, "Well, wait a minute, big brother, hold on."
What do you mean my camera can show somebody else's dog and report their location to them and give them the feed? And like, can they see it live? Can they just get a picture? Do they get the video? Can they download it and keep it? Like, what if it shows something else on my property? That seemed to be out of left field for them to announce that. Had been no mention of it beforehand. I mean, we knew they had been doing something similar to this with like the Amazon Sidewalk piece and some other stuff.
Yeah, why don't you explain
Ring camera?
For our listeners that don't know, Ring, I believe, is owned by Amazon now, right?
Correct.
Yes.
And they have this feature on Amazon that a lot of people, I think they sign up. They don't even know when they've got a smart device called Sidewalk.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't even know what Sidewalk is all about.
So think of it like, say you have an Amazon enabled device and its web reaches out to the sidewalk, right? Outside your window, outside your house, etc. Somebody else walking by with the phone that has the Amazon app installed can then sniff that and say, oh, there's an Amazon device, use its data, use it to upload, to download, etc. All just because there's an Amazon device there.
But
that was the Amazon Sidewalk. But it's using your network, your internet. It's so.
Well, that's the same thing that happens with Xfinity.
Correct.
Yeah. If you have Xfinity internet, you automatically have a built-in hotspot for anybody that's walking by your house or anywhere within range of your home can connect to your Wi-Fi, and not necessarily your Wi-Fi, but it's using your internet pipe. And I don't know how that actually works in terms of if somebody's searching some stuff that they shouldn't be searching or doing illegal activities, it's going to come down on you because you're the account holder.
Yeah, you could turn that off. But again, do they let people know about that?
No.
They let them know.
Why would they? It's in the TOS. You signed up for it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read it? No, nobody does. Scroll, click. Scroll, click.
That's what it is.
Everybody blows through the terms of service, and they know that, right? They jam stuff into those terms of services that are not good for the consumer. And unlike other countries that are not on this continent, we have garbage user protection laws against that stuff, where these types of things in like the EU would be seen by a judge and thrown out and say, you can't do this. Get out of here.
You hear a lot about lawsuits the EU has done against Google, against Amazon, against some of these big companies.
Even against like big gaming companies that put in loot boxes because it's gambling targeted towards teenagers. That's illegal in the EU. Well, not in the EU, but some countries in the EU. But
like England.
But here, we don't, nobody cares. Parents don't care. Kids can gamble. And, we can see where that systemic problem has brought us.
There was talk this week about a lawsuit.
This show's brought to you by DraftKings.
There was a lawsuit that was talked about this week. I don't know how you guys feel about this, where they're saying that streaming services that stream video, YouTube, one of them, of course, has the ability with YouTube Shorts. You're just constantly scrolling.
Oh my God, my kid is doing that all the time.
Yeah.
And YouTube Shorts. I'm like, stop watching this slop. If you want to watch something, watch an actual video, like a long form video. No, it's 10, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, maybe 30 at the most of just content. And he just constantly scrolling through it. And it's just rotting his brain.
Doing one now with Reels where you'll watch a reel and you'll see, oh, I want to watch this. And you'll get about halfway through and boom, there's an ad. And okay, you wait for the ad doesn't go away. You can't get back to that reel to finish it. So you scroll to the next one and you scroll to the next one. Snapchat does it. Of course, TikTok does it. But it's gotten to the point where the EU said, "Nuh-uh, this is the wrong way to kind of absorb people in." So they felt that it was important enough that they had to file quite a big lawsuit against some of the companies that were doing this. But nothing in the U.S. about that. And I don't think a lot of parents know about the fact that yes, it's built to just scroll next one, next one, next one. A lot of parents, they say, okay, well, we're going to get our kid a device. We want them to be able to, and it's true. You want them to know what is out there, but then again, at what cost?
Yeah.
Big story this week. I don't know if you guys caught this. Obviously, Nancy Guthrie's abduction from her home here in Tucson. Shawn, are you hearing this story out in Indiana?
It's definitely out here. And I know that it has something. I mean, I don't watch a whole lot of news right now, anyways, except the tech news. But I know that it involves some masked dudes on a ring cam and some other things and some blood and an abduction. But Nancy Guthrie's daughter
is Savannah.
Or
worked here in radio. Justin, you knew.
I worked with Savannah when she was just a beat reporter at Kagan.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, there is so much AI misdirection that is being done. So much. At first, the family, when they finally got the video from Google and they were able to post that video, there were people who were using AI to remove the mask. The guy had that full mask on, and people were thinking, "Oh, that's the guy." I'm like, no, that's an AI creation of what some AI model thought maybe this guy could look like. It's not the guy. The other one, and I was talking. Gloria and I were talking about it today. I said, "How did they get into the house? I want to know that." And she opened the door for him. And I looked at her. I said, "Why would she open the door at 2 a.m?" She said, "Well, they've got video of her on the doorstep with him." And I said, "That's AI. That's not him.
Yeah.
That's not her. That never happened." But so many of these videos get posted that people think that that's what happened, and that's not. So again, AI is making it hard for us to trust anything we see anymore.
Anything I see online, I'm like, my first thought is this AI? It's ridiculous though. It really truly is. It's like everything you see, you're just like, I don't know if this is AI or not, but I'm going to say it's AI. But my question is if there was a video of this person in front of this lady's house and they abducted her and there was blood found at the front door, don't you think there would be a video of her getting pulled out of the house as well?
Well, I'm thinking there is stuff, and I mentioned it last week on the show. I think there's stuff they're not showing us because, number one, if they scrubbed the video for that time, there had to have been a car that was maybe passing by at that time. And we talked about that last week. Or do they have this part? Now there's a push. There's a representative here in Arizona, I believe her name is Alma Hernandez, that has issued a statement saying that she wants streamers to go home. There are streamers from around the world and around the country that have parked in front of the Guthrie home, and they're streaming just constantly.
24/7.
24/7, constantly talking about what has happened, and then lots of false, misleading statements, even creating some of this AI that says, well, this person could look like this. Here's what our model came up with. And it's like, that does nothing. That does nothing for
you're not helping the investigation.
No, not at all. So
I saw something today too that talked about, because Savannah left the Today Show to deal with this family issue. And now they're talking about, and again, I don't know how much truth there is in this. But again, it's just, nobody even trusts the media anymore, period. But they're talking about Savannah's considering just leaving the Today Show indefinitely, just saying, I'm done. Because of something about, she thought that this whole thing was because of her high profile that made her family a target. I don't even know. I don't know about that. The other side of the thing was, I've heard stories that this was a botched robbery. Yeah. That they just picked a random house and it ended up being this house. And once they found out who it was, they were like, oh, and they didn't know what to do, but like, it's just so much that's unknown about this.
I mean, it's scary. I feel for the family. I really do. And I'm at record time on this at the beginning of the week, we don't know how this will play out by the end of the week. It changes every day. So we're just hoping that if there is DNA definitely on that glove, that they were able to identify somebody and able to get her home. At least that's the case, which is interesting, talking about the AI portion of all of this. We did get a listener question in from Laura in Tucson, but she says, it seems everywhere you turn around, AI is a subject. My children are 13 and 15 and want to start looking at this stuff, but where should they start? Or should I even go in that direction? We have a family computer. That's always a great idea. Family computer that's right there so you can see what they're doing on the computer. So they share time with, and I want to get a feel for it as well. That's good, Mom. So I think it's good that they learn it, but for me, it's uncharted territory, Laura. what would we recommend in this case? It's kind of like if you don't let them experiment, are they going to be missing out, or would they be using the wrong models because somebody said, oh, try this model? You look at what has happened with ByteDance and their model that was taking Hollywood celebrities and pitting them against each other and just throwing out the copyright for motion picture actresses and actors.
I'm not sure how I would answer this particular question at this very second. I'm thinking about it, but let me give an analogy while I'm thinking about it.
All right.
I liken this question to when I was a kid, when I was about 13, 15, maybe a little bit older, and wanting to do research, and I had to use a encyclopedia, like an actual encyclopedia. Do you remember what those were?
Oh, the humanity. Yes.
The large bookcase filled with like 30 or 40 encyclopedias. And then comes along this wonderful little website called Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Where I could just search up anything I wanted and I could find the content that I needed. This is kind of like the new Wikipedia in a way, but way more powerful.
I think maybe the fact checking was a little more intense on Wikipedia. I don't think because we're getting so many different sources, it's hard to get the actual facts, right? I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, Wikipedia has gone through a lot of stuff where people are like, yeah, don't trust Wikipedia. Anybody can edit it and it's not always factual. And yeah, I get that. Yeah, it's the same thing. That's why I'm kind of likening this to Wikipedia, because Wikipedia is not perfect. Neither is AI.
I think with just like with any other technology or societal vice, if you will, you just have to have an open, honest conversation with your kids about it.
Yeah.
Be open, be honest. Don't sugarcoat it for them. Tell them there are dangers about using AI, right? There's dangers about using AI to manipulate things. There's dangers about AI to research things. You may find out things you don't want to find out. You can't unread things, unfortunately, right? So it's just being careful, helping your kids navigate the wonders of the internet, and being for them to answer questions like, hey, I found this, or hey, Grok gave me this prompt back and it kind of terrified me. Having those open conversations, making sure your kids can come to you with the answer or the questions they have. And I may not know them if, my kids aren't old enough to use the internet, but when they are, I hope that they can come to me and then they say, hey, I have this question about Grok or whatever platform we're using. I may not know the answer, but I'll try my best to get the answer for them and then help guide them through the challenges that it presents. Like not letting them have unfettered access to it, like a lot of people are right now, and kids using AI to make deepfakes of their friends, get their friends in trouble, researching.
Yeah, they don't know the ramifications of that.
Right,
I think it's just fun.
So it's like choices, decisions, consequences, right? There's there's these levels you have to go through with this type of technology with your kids. You have to communicate with your kids. You cannot just let them sit at the computer unabated and let them run wild. If you see them prompting, maybe put some safeguards in place. I don't know if there are parental guidance pieces for this. Check up on them, see what they're prompting, encourage conversation about, hey, you guys were, if you're interested in this piece of technology or this avenue of what you're searching for, great, let's have a conversation about that. Or, hey, this is kind of scary. Maybe you shouldn't be searching down this rabbit hole of the internet. So that's my advice, is just be open, be honest, be involved with what your kids are doing on the internet, and things are going to turn out just fine.
So, speaking of AI and letting kids use AI, we've talked about this in the past. I've fought the battle of allowing my son Eric to play Roblox, because Roblox has a lot of bad, places, dark corners of Roblox. There's a lot of bad things out there. However, I've lost that battle, and every one of his friends are playing Roblox. So I turned to the parental controls. I turned to AI to help me lock down Roblox.
Yeah.
And it's drastically helped. Like, I can allow him to play the certain games that his friends play, and I've already vetted these games, and I'm like, all right, yep, that's an okay one you can play. However, he came to me and said, Dad, I want to make my own Roblox game. Can you help me? I said, I can't, because I don't know how to use Roblox Studio. This is where people go. It's like you got Roblox, the game, and then you've got Roblox Studio, which is where you can go to create a Roblox game. And so every game in Roblox is user created. It's created by either individuals or companies.
Really?
And they put it into the Roblox. So Roblox is not a game. Roblox is a platform made by gamers. And so every game on Roblox is included with the game. The game is free to play. And then when you join a game, there's always going to be these, like Shawn mentioned earlier, these loot boxes and little bit of gambling-esque type of things, with stuff. But that's just the way the world is. But he wanted to make a Roblox game. And I said, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
But I can tell you who does. And I told him, I said, if you have a question, like, how do I make my character move from point A to point B in Roblox Studio? I said, use ChatGPT or use Grok. And so he was like, I don't know. What is that? I'm like, it's like an assistant. It'll help you.
Yep.
He used ChatGPT. He figured out how to use ChatGPT. And I watch him when he's doing this kind of stuff. I'm always looking over his shoulder and I'm monitoring what he's doing. He used ChatGPT and he has a fully functioning Roblox game.
Wow.
And when I'm talking about making a game, I'm talking about actual coding, like real Python coding. He would go into ChatGPT and say, how do I make a sound effect of a sword clinking against another sword? And it would say, all right, do this code. He would just copy the code, put it into Roblox Studio, and then he would test it out, and bam, all of a sudden, ding, 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 the swords would click.
Wow. You got to, we didn't have when we were younger, and just because it does so much, again, I still think you have to have the guardrails in. You still, like Shawn said, I think you still, but again, I mean, how cool is that? Is how much time saved too? I remember having to go to the library. We didn't have encyclopedias. My parents couldn't afford that. So I'd go to Hunting Beach Public Library, and I would search the archives there. Now, kids like 10 years ago.
Good old Dewey Decimal System.
Oh, yeah. Look it up on the computer, on Wikipedia. And then you've got Google to be able to search stuff with. And now you've got the engines that not only find it for you, but provide more info for you. I mean, I've used it in my I used the web on my radio career. You used to have books, and then you had encyclopedias, and then you had Wikipedia. And now I've got voice. I can just ask it and say, hey, tell me about this artist. And it will tell me, or about a song I'm playing. Makes me sound like I know what I'm talking about. Sorry, listeners.
Actually, listeners, you should probably know this. This is a caveat. Andy is actually sick right now. This is actually what you're hearing is an AI rendition of Andy. We created an AI bot.
AI Andy.
AI Andy.
Perfect. But yeah, I think your way of doing that and getting him to understand that it can, and he'll maybe, learn how to create like he's done. Now there's other things. You could have him fix the plumbing in the house, or, maybe do some gardening, yard work.
Well, speaking of fixing the plumbing, I actually, our dishwasher, it's having this weird squeal when it starts to fill up the tub. And I'm like, what is causing that? So I went to Grok and I'm like, hey, what causes a dishwasher to squeal? And it was like, it's a failing inlet valve. And it's pretty easy to fix. Here's how you fix it. Step 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm like,
It'll even give you a link to a YouTube video or somebody.
And I was like, my response was, can you give me a link to a local plumber?
That works out perfectly. All right, listen, we got to take a break. We come back with more of Tech Talk Radio. We got more listener questions, some big news. Apple, there you go, Justin. Apple's got something coming down the pike. We'll talk about that and more. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Shawn DeWeerd. Find a link to Justin's plumber on our Facebook page.
And I'm Justin Lemme. Find us on the web at TechtalkRadio.com. We'll be right back.
Now, back to Tech Talk Radio.
Welcome back to Tech Talk Radio. We got another listener question. I know we just answered one in the last segment, but this one is right up my alley.
All right.
Question is, it's from Susan in Green Valley. I miss some of the old computer games I used to play. You had mentioned a website where I might find some of them. I never had an Xbox or PlayStation. I played on Windows 95. Where can I find these?
Oh.
So, Susan, right up your alley, because this is the era where I grew up playing on was Windows 95, Windows 98, XP, the gambit. The platform that I use currently is called Good Old Games, GOG.com. It's a platform you can go on, and they've done digital remasters of a lot of really good classic games. All the Apogee games, all the Sierra games you never thought you would see again. Now, obviously, it's not all of them, but it's a lot.
They had the Tomb Raider games on there, didn't they?
Correct. Yep. They have the Tomb Raider games on there. Those also just got remastered and re-released. If you're looking for more further back than Windows 95, the Internet Archive is a great place to start.
Oh, yeah.
Can you actually play them on there?
Yeah, because you can actually run them in your browser running DOSBox. So
No
if
way.
you want to play some of these older DOS games, I mean, there's thousands of these games, right? Internet Archive is a great place.
How do you get to there? You just go to
internetarchive.org or Google DOS games Internet Archive. The benefit of GOG is that you can get the downloaders for the games, and they're DRM free, meaning you don't need to be running their platform to run it. It's not going to search for an internet connection to run it. You can download the games, put it on a flash drive, store it, install it, uninstall it at your own free will. And that's the benefit of GOG is you can get some of that DRM free stuff.
Not knocking Steam, but this way you own
Correct.
it.
You own it.
Yeah.
You own in a world where digital ownership is not a priority for a lot of companies. This is kind of a shining gem in the sand. So
cool.
The next piece of this, and this is important because this happened last week. Who here? I think both of you have played it. Diablo 2.
Oh yeah, I played it. Yeah.
Last week, Blizzard held a Diablo 30th anniversary like a showcase, and they were showing off the new class for Diablo 4. This Warlock, it's the Reign of the Warlock. It's going to be great. Also available for Diablo Immortal and Diablo 2.
Whoa.
Wait, hold on.
Wait,
yeah.
What?
Diablo 2? And then like, oh yeah, by the way, you can now play this Warlock in Diablo 2. Brand new class. It's 2026. They drop a brand new class for Diablo 2, and it's available right now. They literally, in the thing, they were like, it's available right now.
How would you, if you didn't have Diablo 2 installed, how would you get it?
So you can buy it from Blizzard, and it's now available on Steam.
Oh, look at that. That's
so
cool.
It's no longer just available from Blizzard, from the Blizzard launcher. It's also available on Steam. It gave some other quality of life updates, some extra hardened character towards the end, a couple of extra bonus feature things at the end. But it's the first class announced for Diablo 2, well, playable in Diablo 2, since Lord of Destruction was released in 2002.
Wow.
24 years.
20, wow.
That's as long as it's taken Rockstar to make GTA 6.
Which GTA 6, it just got pushed back again.
Yeah.
So no longer November. So we'll see when GTA 6 comes. That was kind of one of the memes going around the Reddit forums, right? Was, oh man, we got a new class in Diablo 2 before we got GTA 6.
That's crazy.
So, so GOG, Internet Archive, you're going to go waste some time. It's going to be great. Now, I don't want to call it wasting time because if you're enjoying yourself, it's not really wasting time. Go get some nostalgia. And if you're into, I'll pitch this one again too, right? If you're into the Nintendo 64, the Analog 3D, the Mod Retro, M64 is coming out soon too. So that's another version of a 64 made by a separate company that's making another hardware Nintendo 64. It's interesting to take a step back into the games before the internet, before they were all tied into being able to use the internet to find your way, being able to use the internet to get items, spend money, etc. Adventuring RPGs that actually make you adventure
role-playing games. Yeah.
Are so much fun. Until you go back and shut yourself off from the internet and play some of these, you don't realize how much of that is missing from current games.
All right, let me ask you guys. All right, what was better, Diablo, World of Warcraft? I mean,
those are two completely separate platforms, though, right?
I mean,
you can't take Diablo 2 as an ARPG, action adventure RPG, and World of Warcraft, which is a massively online MMO, massively multiplayer online game. They're two completely separate platforms, right? One's a hack and slash dungeon grinder, dungeon crawler. The other one is an open world MMO that you play there's an expected level of community involvement, right? I liked them both.
Right.
I've spent probably equal amounts of time in both worlds.
You're locked into a basement, all right? You're there, you're going to be there for a week. You're stuck. You've got 2 games on the shelves. Diablo, World of Warcraft.
Diablo.
Which one are you playing? You can only play one. Diablo? Diablo. Yeah.
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 Well, speaking of World of Warcraft, I mean, it's gone. I have not played that in many, many, many years. I know, Shawn, you have played World of Warcraft more recently.
Yeah,
Maybe
I keep up
still
on
do.
it. I've got coworkers that keep playing it. I've got coworkers that are playing it now. I've got friends that are still playing it now.
It's gotten really, really bad.
It's not bad.
Okay.
It's just not. It's not what it was when you played it.
They've introduced designing your own house, so they're basically turning the Horde into the Sims.
Yeah. So yeah, with the release of Midnight, which is the most recent expansion for World of Warcraft and the last of the War Within saga, they introduced player housing.
Yeah.
Meaning your character can have a house and you can design
and
it with
a job
and
a spouse.
Probably.
It's just like Sims.
But you can design it with in-game elements
right.
from around as the world of Azeroth, right?
What next? Battlefield with Sims? Honey, I'm off to war.
It's horrible.
But anyway, so the content is still there. It still hasn't really lost its feel. It's still an MMO. It's just in a weird place. It's the gaming world is in a weird place, right? So it's like,
it is.
This is the last expansion. This is the last expansion in this 3-tiered saga called The War Within. And then they're going to move forward. So we'll see, because they actually have a BlizzCon this year, 2026. So hopefully they're going to announce what is going to be the next major step for all of the franchises. But
All right, here's one.
Diablo, to everybody's surprise, the Diablo franchise has been driving Blizzard. Which, nope, if you would have told me 6 years ago that the Diablo franchise would have been driving Blizzard, I would have said you're crazy.
See, Andy, here's where you made your mistake. You mentioned World of Warcraft and Diablo in the same sentence. Now, Shawn is never going to shut up.
I won't. I'm very passionate about these two platforms.
Here's what. If you guys are watching this video right now, Andy's over here like, wrap it up, Shawn. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, so I remember, like, we're talking about gaming. We were kind of waxing poetic here. There were some great games that came out. I mean, so many times you talk to somebody, they go, Doom, or, Castle Wolfenstein. They were great. I mean, a lot of us, that started gaming, that was like the fun, right? But there was 2 games that I played and I absolutely loved. One of them was called Rayman. All right? I don't know if you remember Rayman. Mm-hmm. The other was Monkey Island. I don't know.
Ray 1 too. That was Ray 1 too.
I don't even remember why.
Leisure Suit Larry.
Well, I never got it. My parents would not let me play Leisure Suit Larry.
Dude, come on. I was a kid when Leisure Suit Larry came out. You were already an adult.
I wasn't allowed to play it.
You were an adult.
No, I wasn't.
At that time?
When did Leisure Suit Larry come out?
Oh, it was an Xbox. It was an Xbox game. So.
Oh, maybe my wife wouldn't let me play it. Maybe that's.
I was going to say, dude. You're old enough to be my dad. I'm sorry, but you had plenty of, unless you're talking to your like 75-year-old mom, can I play this? She's like, you're 30 years old. Figure it out.
Well, all right. Here's the good news. Rayman is coming out with its 30th anniversary edition. If you liked playing Rayman, the 30th anniversary edition is available this week from Ubisoft, and it's available on Switch, PS5, PC, and Steam.
So you mentioned Doom. I want to just go off a little bit of a segue here.
All right.
There is a great corner of the internet that it's called Will It Run Doom?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Where developers, people, technologically minded people try and run Doom no matter what. If it can run 1 frame a second, 1 frame every 2 minutes, whatever. If it can process Doom and you can play Doom in some capacity, people have run it on pregnancy tests. They've run them on Tamagotchis. They've run them on
ESP32s.
Yeah, ESP32s.
Raspberry Pis.
Yeah.
They've actually run them. There was a post. I don't remember what game it was, but somebody got Doom to run on a virtual computer inside of another game. So you would play the game, and then you would walk into your house, and there was a desktop computer on inside this game, and you could sit down on this virtual computer, and you could play Doom. So you're playing Doom. It's like Inception. Like you're playing a computer game within a computer game.
But there's a corner of the internet where just people try to make Doom run on literally anything.
Well, pregnancy test, that's pretty far out there.
Well, somebody got it to run on an air fryer.
An air fryer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was somebody that got it to run on an air fryer. Yeah, because it had like an LCD display, and they were able to hack it.
You don't realize how much memory is in these things to run these little ESPs or whatever is way more than what some computers back then had. They ran Doom.
I'm gonna have to look. Personally, a couple of years ago, I tried out the Revolution toaster. Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember that one, and I think it's still out there. But it's a toaster that has an LED screen, and you could do the settings all there on the screen, the whole bit. But I think it could play videos. You could probably get Doom to run on one of those fridges. Then
I can run Doom on my fridge right now. I've got the Samsung with the whole like big old like landscape or portrait style screen on it. Yeah,
you got to try it and then send us a screenshot.
I don't want to do that because I swear to God, Eric would never leave the fridge.
I want to share some sad news before we go to break. Hideki Sato, the father of Sega hardware, has passed away at the age of 77. He worked for Sega from 71 to the early 2000s. Yeah. He helped develop the Sega arcade games, home consoles, the SG-1000 to the Genesis to the Saturn, and one of my favorites, I had this one, the Dreamcast.
Yeah, Dreamcast was way ahead of its time.
It was
way ahead of its time. Yeah,
it was.
I mean, it was the first one that had online capable play. I mean, you'd connect a telephone cord into it and use a dial-up internet service to connect to the internet. Yeah, I had a Dreamcast. I bought the Dreamcast on launch day, and I loved it. I mean, Crazy Taxi, Sonic,
Crazy
a couple
Taxi
other ones I can't remember exact top of my head.
Wow,
What?
Crazy Taxi! I remember that. That was great.
Yeah, Crazy Taxi. Yeah, but no, I've actually had the honor of going because I used to live in Japan, so I've had the honor of going to Sega's headquarters and seeing, the museum there and reading about this guy and just realizing how important he was to video games that we now know today. If it wasn't for him, we may not have ever had a home console because Nintendo wasn't even really in the game at that time. Yeah. Sega was big. Sega made all of these old school arcade machines and like pachinko gambling machines and things like that. And this guy came in and said, why not we put this in homes? Why can't we put this in homes? Wow. And so then he designed this alongside the same time that Nintendo was considering to do the same type of thing. Nintendo beat them to the market. Sega was shortly there right behind them. And it was a complete, back in the day, it was Sega versus Nintendo. It wasn't Sega versus Nintendo versus Sony. Sony didn't even exist in the video game market at the time. As a fun fact, the Sony PlayStation was birthed because Nintendo had a contract with Sony to develop a CD-ROM attachment for the Nintendo console. And at the last minute, Nintendo pulled out and said, nope, we're not going to do it. And Sony was like, well, heck, we already have all the technology here. Let's just make our own console. And therefore, the PlayStation was born.
Wow. All right, we got to take a break. We come back with more of Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Shawn DeWeerd.
And I'm Justin Lemme. Find us on X at Tech Talk Radio. We'll be right back.
And now, back to Tech Talk Radio.
All right, we have another listener question. Hi, guys. Where's the girl you had on the show a while ago? You mean Matt? I'm sorry. Whoa.
Matt is going to come over there and poke you in the eye.
Well, Matt's not here to defend himself, so he can, whatever. No, are you talking about Amanda? Amanda's she's been around. Where's she been lately?
Every time we reach out to Amanda, she's just so busy, right? Yeah. With all the education stuff that she's doing. She got voted into like the top 40 under 40 educators, like tech teachers, and she's just doing so much. Good for her. Like she's doing so many good things, and it's just doesn't have time.
Yeah, it was always fun having her on the show, and she had a good sense of humor, and she had a mouth though. I'd have to do more editing. So sorry, Amanda.
Yeah, you guys thought I cursed a lot.
Yeah. Well, Roger continues. He says, I love the show a couple weeks back where Justin talked about getting a power wall. I wondered, though, I've heard stories about colder temps and electric vehicles. Has that been an issue? Thanks, and keep up the great work. And that's Roger from Tucson. So,
Thanks.
Roger, yeah, I did end up getting the power wall fully installed. It is operational. I have it signed off by the energy company, so we are using it.
They actually put the photo in the video cast, so I was able to put that in there. So it's pretty cool. You could see it.
Yeah, definitely. And the power wall works great. Definitely love it. To your question there, Roger, yes, there is issues with colder temperatures. Now, you know, I live in Denver. I would expect that Denver would usually be cold this time of year, but we have had an unseasonably warm winter. I think we've gotten a total of a 1/4 inch of snow.
Right.
Otherwise, it's been about 65, 70 degrees. This whole season, like every day is like 70 degrees. I mean, people are going playing golf every day. But to answer your question, yes, colder temps, electric vehicles, it does cause a range issue on electric vehicles. If your vehicle is too cold, it takes the battery pack a lot longer to warm up, and therefore you do get a decreased mileage on your electric vehicle. Also, you know, electric vehicles are extremely heavy. My Tesla Model Y is over a ton, and it's just a small little car. Yeah, but it's the battery pack. It's a very, very heavy car, which you would think, oh, great, heavy cars, great on snow, great on ice. No, it's not. Especially the Teslas are not that great on snow and ice. Because they have the automatic braking. It's a one pedal system. I mean, yes, there is a brake pedal.
Wait, what?
It's a one pedal driving system.
You mean there's not like accelerator, brake?
No, there is an accelerator and there's a brake, but you don't need the brake. As soon as you let up on the accelerator, the brake automatically kicks in.
Oh, okay.
And it slows the car down, which is great for normal driving. It is poo your pants when it's iced out. Because the one thing you do not want to do on ice is slam on the brakes.
Right.
So when I let off the accelerator and it's icy, the car just starts sliding and fishtailing and the butt comes out and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
But yeah, when the colder temps, yeah, of course it takes, but now that doesn't affect the power wall, I don't believe, because that thing always has electricity pulsing through it, and electricity by default just generates heat. So that battery pack is always going to mean warm.
It's a good question because I think for any of us that have run, like I have the Nest doorbell or cameras in other parts that are run off battery wise. I don't know if they have this problem there, Shawn, but when their battery, you'll tend to go through your battery a lot faster when it's colder.
Yes.
Or even when it's super hot, like we get here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that can affect the battery life.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does. I mean, Shawn, you have a lot of Wise cams. I know that my Nest doorbell cam, it used to be back in the day when I had it, the Google Nest doorbell cam, when it was super cold out, it would say, hey, the Nest cam is offline because it's just too darn cold.
So like I would take this whole temperature thing a little bit of a different direction, right? So upgrading our camper battery to a lithium iron phosphate battery, so another type of lithium chemistry for battery. They do have cold concerns. This is like below zero, sub-zero temperatures where the lithium ions move slower, so they can't charge at the higher voltage because it can damage. If you're providing too much voltage, it can damage the lithium plating, which is irreversible in those types of batteries. So the recommendation is you either keep it contained inside, like a battery container that has air moving around to keep it from getting cold, or you just get a solar charger, a charging, whether it's solar charger or DC to DC charging, that can do low temperature cutoff. So it doesn't charge when it's too cold because you just don't want to damage your battery. So
yeah. And I've had that with the Tesla, the Tesla Model Y car that I have in the past years when it has been cold and I've plugged it in to go charge. One thing, first off, it won't start charging right away. It'll actually warm the battery pack of the car. Now, not the car itself, not the interior cabin of the vehicle, but it does warm the battery pack. And I've experienced this firsthand using a supercharger which charges way faster than a home charger. And I remember being at a supercharger when it was approximately, I don't know, about 15, 20 degrees Fahrenheit. And I remember seeing steam come out of the bottom of the car. And I thought my car was on fire.
Oh, man.
But that was just the car itself warming up the battery packs and sending hot air into the battery packs. And then it would vent out the sides and it looked like the car was on fire, but that's just steam from that. So the car will warm itself up. The car will warm the battery packs up, and then it will begin to charge. Same thing goes for if I have it parked in the garage overnight and I plug it in, go to bed. Sometimes I would wake up and it's like, wow, it's only 45% charged. Why? Well, because low temperature cutoff.
Got it. Yeah. Now, is it true you don't have, for those who don't know, who've never looked at Tesla, you don't have a actual battery like we have in our cars? You take that battery out, take it to Walmart.
No, we do. There is a 12-volt battery as well.
But isn't the entire bottom of the vehicle a battery? Isn't that how that works?
That's the drivetrain. That is your engine. That battery that's underneath your car, and it does take up the entire base, the bottom of the car. That is your engine. You do still have a 12-volt battery.
I would love to find any radio that could take 400 volts or whatever that battery puts out. No, you still have to have a DC to DC conversion, right? The battery's obviously going to get power from the battery at a much lower voltage.
So you're able to pick up AM radio from Helsinki, right? Is that the deal?
Right, yeah.
No, that's the thing. Yeah, so no, I don't have an AM radio in the Tesla.
No.
The Tesla does not have AM radio because it interferes. Well, I'm sorry, the battery interferes with the ability to pick up AM radio stations. So they do not have an AM radio in Teslas.
Yep. All right. So we're kind of geeky, right? We kind of like Star Wars stuff. So, kind of, sort of. Do you like Star Wars stuff? Did you see the
You're
ad?
wearing a Dude You're Gavin Adele t-shirt. You are like the nerd king.
All right. So there is, and I don't know if you and your son or, Shawn, I want to do this with my grandkid, but do Lego. And Lego's become like super popular recently. And I don't know what it's
always been popular.
It's always been popular.
Yeah, but it's like the price for Lego. I remember, you go out, you buy some Legos and you build something and it's cool. Now, the Star Wars Most Wanted campaign, because this new movie that's going to be coming out, Mandalorian and Grogu, they've got a Star Wars Razor Crest building set, but it's going to go for $150.
That's cheap.
That's nothing. Dude, there's a Millennium Falcon that goes for $1,000.
No, there's not. Really?
Yes, there is. Look it up.
Look up. Okay, look up. Yeah.
$150 is nothing.
You think we're geeks now? Just give me a minute.
Okay, here we go.
Go look up the Lord of the Rings Minas Tirith one they're about to release. It stands like 4.5 feet tall.
Wow.
Yeah, look up all the Lord of the Rings. The Rivendell one's like 3,900 pieces.
That's that boggles my mind. I saw the story. I saw $150.
I've been buying Lego. So like, I've been buying Legos and not building them for the sole purpose of having Max, like when I had kids, to let my kids build them.
Right.
Max now thinks that every day he can come downstairs and open a new box of Legos because I have so many that I've not opened. He's like, "Oh, I can just go open it. We can just build a new one today, right, Dad?"
Yeah, and then they mix all the parts. Then you mix all the parts together, and now you can never build that actual Lego set.
Wow!
Like, so Eric has a bunch of Legos too. My next door neighbor actually has, his basement is completely Legos, shelves, bins. His maintenance closet is full of Legos. He has over $1 million in Legos in his house.
So
that's amazing.
If I'm just going to recommend a couple things for somebody who maybe you have a big bin of Legos you don't know what to do with, right?
Right.
You can download the Lego app. Okay. And then if you think, oh, I had this set, well, look it up on the app. There's the instruction, tells you what pieces you need, how many of each one you need. Then you can build that one. Just search through the bin, figure it out. Or if you want to find a community-driven piece, Bricklink,
right?
Brickmaker. There's a handful of really good websites out there. You have a set that you built on your own. You want to upload it to see if Lego will build it or make it. The community is driving that. People get Lego sets created by Lego all the time. They're not the, the IP ones like Disney or Marvel or stuff like that, but there's a lot of community-driven Legos out there, and it's all just based off people that love Lego.
At this point, I'm going to buy some Lego pieces and say, here, August, this is a wall. I've just built a wall out of Lego. This is what you have.
Matt builds a spaceship out of like 6 pieces and runs around the house flying it around like a spaceship. It's amazing.
Every
It
time
doesn't look like a spaceship, but it is.
Yeah.
Every time that Eric and I sit down to build Legos, I always end up building just the most basic 4-wall house.
That's what I would do.
And it's like all random bricks, and like one wall is like 7 blocks longer than the other wall, but I'm like, I don't care, whatever.
All right, we're going to take another quick break. We come back with more of Tech Talk Radio. We will let you know about the big Apple announcement coming up. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Shawn DeWeerd.
And I'm Justin Lemme. Hey, remember Facebook? You can still find us there at Tech Talk Radio. We'll be right back.
And now, back to Tech Talk Radio.
So Apple made an announcement this week. They've got something coming up, calling it a special Apple experience. And they're expected to announce some new products. I don't, anytime any of these companies, whether it be any of the computer manufacturers or anything, you kind of wonder, okay, what is it? Apple's announcements are usually pretty big. They're expected to announce the iPhone 17e.
Wait, hold on. So now they're just going to like putting letters behind the number because they can't come up with anything better than that?
You can't call it the 18?
Well, they stopped calling them the SCs because people started referring to it as the super cheaps.
Yeah, I don't know how they're doing this. At the same time, Samsung has announced theirs that is coming out. MacBook Pro with M5. The M5 chips are supposed to be pretty amazing.
I'll give them that.
The M5 chips are going to be great. It's just weird to think that we're already phasing out M1 and M2 chips already. It feels like they just came out, and now it's like, oh, you have an M1? That's garbage. It might not even be supported by the newest version of Adobe. Like, what? We're that far already where the Apple Silicon chips are already getting outpaced by themselves? It's crazy.
Yeah. They've got to keep it like, hey, this is fresh. Especially, people have been a little angry at Microsoft, angry at Windows.
Microsoft?
There has been, and it never seems to, they've got one bug that comes out and then another one comes back. So they've got to keep getting the products out there so people will go, oh, I'll take a look at it.
I've still telling you guys this, there is a big Linux momentum coming. Like Linux shares are up 4 or 5% from where they were 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And you're seeing, GOG, we just talked about this a couple segments ago. They are building a Linux first platform for GOG, meaning it'll be a Linux driven platform so that you can get these games on Linux.
Yeah. I read Ed Bott had an article, ZDNet, and in the article he said, he was able to migrate. They were able to get over to Linux just to give it a try. The one thing he was missing from that is Microsoft Hello, which is a different way to log in that apparently is not available on Linux yet, or at least the builds that he was doing. And he said he kind of liked that. So I think anybody who moves from Windows to Linux is going to miss something. I don't.
Oh, for sure, right? I mean, you have to think about it from the ecosystem that you grew up in, right? I like the iPhone experience. Okay. I'm sure I could get used to and enjoy and find a love the Android experience, but I know and I'm comfortable with the iOS experience. So everybody's going to hate something or feel like they have to give up something when moving to a new platform. Nobody likes change. That's just the root of it, is that you're moving to a new platform. You don't like change. You don't want to adapt, because adapting something, especially in a business sense, adapting something to a new platform costs money and time.
Justin,
not a lot of companies want to do that. So
when I told Justin, okay, so I bought this this Google Pixel 9, Pro, and I'm not sure if I like it. And Justin, you were the one who told me, hang in there, just keep trying this and try that. And I'm glad. I mean, I still have an iPhone. I use it as a business line, which never rings. Thank you, people. But the Android has been actually pretty good. I've been liking it.
Yeah, and the same thing was my wife. My wife had an iPhone, and I was like, nope, we're not getting another iPhone. You're getting an Android. And she's like, I don't want an Android. I don't want to switch. The same thing Shawn said.
Right.
She switched. Took her a couple months, and now she's like, I love Android.
I thought you were going to say that you weren't sure you wanted to keep the wife. That's
Oh,
what.
well, at the time, starting to think of my choices.
I
my
told
life
Justin,
choices.
hang in there. They're okay. Wives are great. All right. Well, listen, that wraps up this week's show. We love your questions. So if you've got one, just drop us a line. TechGuys, TechGuys at techtalkradio.com. And, we'll read your question on the air and hopefully answer it correctly. That's all we can do.
If not, we'll give you an AI answer.
There you go.
Exactly. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Shawn DeWeerd.
And I'm Justin Lemme. Next week, we'll have all AI agents. Have yourselves a great week. We'll see you.